Welcome back, Baker, and I hope you enjoyed the first segment of the show. I'm really excited this evening again because I have with me the 2018 Citizen of the Year, Ms. Desiree Collins.
Hello.
Thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Desiree Collins was selected as the Citizen of the Year. We just had this big banquet for her, and she had all her family there. And I'm just excited because she's a friend of mine. She's a sister in Christ, and her and her husband have always been there for this city. And but I just want you to just tell me a little bit about yourself and your history, how you got to Baker, and tell me a few secrets about Gerald too while you're there too.
About Gerald. Well, Gerald and I moved to Baker in 1994.
Right.
And we had two little boys at that time.
Right.
And so we lived right off of Groom Road, and I was going to the library at the old Mason building.
Right.
And would walk my kids across the street to go to the library. And from there, we decided to start a home-based child care center for our kids and
Right.
for the kids in our community. It got a little full, and then we decided to go ahead and purchase the building across the street from it,
Right.
which became Simple Pleasures Child Care Center.
Right.
So we ran the business of Simple Pleasures for 20 years.
20 years.
Yes.
And I think, me and you talked about how we used to talk before I became the mayor. But I remember coming to your place when I was selling insurance.
Yes.
Right before I was diagnosed with the cancer. Yeah, we talked then. So what happened with the business and everything that would happen with that before the flood?
Okay. Well, after 20 years of doing Simple Pleasures, that Gerald and I had made a decision that we were going to close it after 20 years. It was just a number that I had, that in 20 years I was going to do something different.
Right.
So we had told the parents, and they've always knew that year. We always had this year. This was going to be our last year of doing Simple Pleasures. And once we closed the business and we were looking to purchase a new home, I felt immense amount of sadness.
Right.
It's kind of embarrassing to admit it, but I didn't want to leave Baker. I didn't want to leave the spot that we were in.
Right.
It just seems like a place where we were able to, and it was the rainbow, and
Right.
we were always able to come under the rainbow, which was God's promises at Simple Pleasures.
That's a good deal.
And so being the person that he is, he said, well, did you want to stay here?
Right.
And that might sound odd for people to think that I wanted to stay at the child care center, but I wanted my families and the children to always be able to find me. I wanted them to remember that the love that we shared was not just something that was for a season, but they would always be there if they wanted to come and knock at that door. And he got me with that.
That's right.
And so we went on and remodeled it.
Right.
And all the interior was remodeled. And the exterior stayed the same I wanted it to stay the same for a year, just keep working past the transition. And we lived there for a year, almost a year to date.
Before the flood.
And the flood came and washed us out of the building. Right. It did.
And I'm going to tell you this. It seems that Desiree and Gerald were always busy, but after the flood, it's like you guys caught fire. Tell us a little bit about that, and then we'll go into that's why you're the Citizen of the Year. I mean, what were you thinking, and how were you feeling after losing everything to continue to work with the city the way you did?
With Simple Pleasures, we would always tell the kids when something happened in the world, what can we do? What can we do to help with the problem? What can we do? So rather than just looking at the fact that there was a problem, always thinking, what can we do? So that was the home, that corner spot right there was always the place of what can we do to make a difference? And that's where you and I got to actually meet.
Right.
And so when the flood happened, there was an unusual inability to disconnect.
Right.
So even though we actually had about 8 feet of water on that property, so when people say they lost everything, we had 8 feet of water on that property, we were still thinking, what can we do to help everybody else who was flooded? And so from there, we were able to make some connections with the community. I just thank God for people who kind of knew my heart for service. And even though I was going through that situation myself, they were still pouring in the way they always had to Simple Pleasures.
Right.
And from there, we just started petitioning things for not just for us, but for the community. So we were able to align with Baker Rotary, and we were able to distribute insulation and sheetrock
Yes.
We were able to work through Volunteers of America and do a massive furniture distribution for the people of the city of Baker. And we're really, really happy about that because it was a seed of hope. It's to let you know that you can begin again.
Right.
And for me, for Gerald, for our whole family, the first thing that we got there was a soft thing, was a sofa, and it was a soft existence in a hard reality.
Right.
And just kind of let you know, at least with regards to what you're going through, you can get back home and everybody could sit on that sofa. And I wanted everybody to feel that way.
That's right.
And so when we got the sofa, I was thinking, well, wait, can we get more to make everybody have some hope to go beyond this situation? And so it just continued to go. I think if you're a faithful steward over things
Right.
and people see how you manage things, then other people who have resources can give to you too, because they know that you're going to do the right thing with it. And to think about the whole thing, I think that where there's the intersection of human need
Right.
and human skill is purpose.
It's purpose.
Right. And so you have these people who have this need.
Right.
And you have people who say, well, I have skill or I have this resource and I don't know what to do with
Right.
it. But when they both connect, that's where purpose is. And I just challenge people to live purposefully.
That's powerful. I remember, and I don't know if you remember this, you text me. It probably was about 9, 10 o'clock at night. And you say, look, and I think I called you. And you told me you had a semi-trailer of furniture coming in. You needed somewhere to store it. And my wife said, no. I said, yeah, that's Desiree. Yeah, she probably has that. And we were able to get rid of that. Real quick, tell us about the Interact Club and how does it feel to be the Citizen of the Year in Baker?
Interact is Interact Greater Baton Rouge, which is
Right.
sponsored by the Baker Rotary Club. It's
Right.
a group of teenagers from 9th to 12th grade.
Right.
And I think that children, when people complain about children not being sensitive, I think compassion is a learned behavior.
Right.
And the more that we offer young people an opportunity to see the need, they feel compelled to meet the need.
Right.
And so what we do is we do college preparation, we do college tours,
Right.
we do a tremendous amount of community service. And what I'm amazed by them is that with the energy that young people have, they don't ever seem to get tired of service. It's
Right.
just taking that energy that's normal and innate with teenagers
Right.
and putting it in positive and productive places. So we're really, really proud of them. I can't say enough about them. It is a blessing to be in their midst because this is tomorrow.
That's right.
And I get to play a role in that. So I'm really proud of Team Interact Greater Baton Rouge.
That's right.
The other part of what I do is a parent liaison. I am with the East Baton Rouge Parish Early Childhood Community Network.
Okay.
Long word, but what that means is that we are reaching out to parents within the East Baton Rouge Parish School District, which also would beyond the school district to the network,
Right.
which includes the city of Baker.
Right.
And so we are offering positive parenting workshops and trainings, and I would like to do some in the city of Baker as
Okay.
well, at no cost to parents,
Okay.
just because it's simply what I know the city of Baker believes in, and open that to the community. So we'll
Right.
talk a little later about a date and time and invite everybody to come out for it. So Interact Greater Baton Rouge, I do encourage people to join that as well. Senior teenagers, and allow me to enjoy them and help them to celebrate their purpose and encourage them to work in that purpose.
Well, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank
and
you.
Congratulations again.
Thanks.
And I'm so proud that you are the Citizen of the Year and that I know who you are.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great one.
Thank you.
But look, Baker, we got to pay some bills, and we will be right back. Tune in.